time it is. Marvin Devine, Hoover, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Big game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, Axel, and Hoover, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah.
What's going on? Welcome to World Kidney News. I am your host, Steve Belcher. Thank you for joining me. Let me give a shout out to Sean Garris and Titus Campbell. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me this evening. Hope everyone is doing well. Look, share this broadcast. I know people who may be watching may not have kidney disease, but let me tell you, tonight's show is not about kidney disease, right? We're talking to, I call him the Ricky Martin, the Rico Suave, a nurse practitioner. This gentleman, male practitioner out of Jacksonville, Florida. We're going to show you and break the stereotype of nursing. When you look at nursing, you see females, you may hear people say, oh, he a male nurse, male RN, they sweet or whatever. No, that's a profession. And what we've done as professional male nurses, such as myself and my guest tonight, we have turned it around and made it lucrative for ourselves in a profession that we truly care about and very compassionate about. So without further ado, I'm going to give my guests the royal VIP welcome. So without further ado, all the way from Jacksonville, Florida, let's give it up for Shane S.D. Grindle. Hey, Shane.
Hey, man, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
How you doing, man?
I'm alive, you know?
Right.
Hope it ain't got me yet, right?
Right. Man, again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule. I mean, it's a busy schedule. I mean, you're CEO of Integrative Med Group, but
Yes.
you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, man, to come on here to share about your journey and just to talk about Mayo RN. It's good to have another male nurse to talk about the industry and how you got where you're at today, because every nurse has a story. And before we start your story, I just wanted to share with the audience, man. I don't know your story because we didn't go into it, but everybody's Facebook page is open. But I went through your photos because I do that just to get a feel of my guests. And man, when I seen like the transformation from when you started posting, like this picture right here, dude, this is you in the right.
Yeah, man. I was a big guy, man.
I mean, to see you from that to this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dramatic, right?
I mean,
it is dramatic,
brother. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You gave me inspiration.
Thank you.
Just seeing that, and I don't have a lot of weight on, but I haven't been going to the gym, and I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit.
Listen, me too. Eating. It's hard right now.
But man, I mean, you look like somebody off of like a television series or something, bro.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, and then we got this picture right here.
Yeah, that is a very recent one, actually, or recent-ish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before we see your story, what would you tell people right now struggling with weight loss issues?
Listen, it's a lifelong chronic thing, really. I mean, just because you fail once, you're going to fail many times, and that's okay. Thing is to get back up, try it again, and whatever doesn't work the first time, change it up, do something different, and that's fine. It's simple math, right? It's calories out, food in. It's really easy, but I make it sound easier than like what it is, right? It's hard.
I'm sorry to interrupt, and I won't do this again.
Okay.
But you said something very important that I tell a lot of people. You got to have a caloric deficit, and that's what you just said. I mean, you got to burn more calories
than you consume.
that you bring in, and that's why I tell a lot of people that go on these fad diet. It's not about that. You got to have a caloric deficit.
It's about maintaining it, right? You got to maintain it. So it's something that you can stick to, right? Everyone can't stick to a keto diet forever because you can't eat bacon, forever, because that's not good for your cholesterol. Thing is to have a balanced diet that uses, low sodium, good fats, good carbs, complex, refined sugars have to be cut completely out. And it's super hard, especially right now with COVID. We're all I call it the COVID funk. It's like we're all kind of sad and we are isolated in that, and we go to our comfort foods, right? That's okay for now, but I do want you to get back to it and just do your best. Just do your best, really. I mean,
wow.
At least for now, until we can get back to some sort of normalcy, and we can get back to gyms, then, you know, that's fair. And it's not easy. You're not going to lose weight immediately. And honestly, it's not about the pounds. It's about how you feel. It's about your waist size, your belt size, you know, because as you're starting to lose weight, people start to stop because they're like, I'm gaining weight, but that's muscle. That's not fat. That's muscle. You're going to gain a little weight first, taper off, and then it's going to start to roll off because muscle weighs more fat, right? That's just it, man.
Right. So Shane, let me ask you, when you took this picture right here, did you know you was going to be where you're at today?
Nah, no idea. No, I mean, you don't really think about, you know, where you were back in the day versus where you are now. I didn't really see that. I just kind of, you know, was having a good time, having a good night, and, you know, and then here we are today, you know, so it's just kind of one of those things.
Wow. So how does your journey begin to this road to where you're at today? What made you decide to become a registered nurse and get into healthcare?
Well, that kind of started back when I was in the military. All of those people there were all of my military. We all served together. So they'll even tell you, like, we didn't know, you know, Shane was going to be where he is today. You know, I didn't think I was. So we were in the military together. I got out. I didn't know what to do next. And then just so happened that the new GI Bill came out. And I was like, so I guess I'm going to college, apparently. And so, you know, when you get out of the military, you get like an aptitude test. You take a test to see what you're good at. Mine was IT and healthcare. So I'm like, I don't see myself being behind a desk forever anymore. So I'm like, let's go healthcare. And then running through a couple of things, I was like, you know, nursing seems good. You get to give back. You have a good career, you know. And then that's kind of where it started. Was right after the military. I did that. Did my undergraduate program as an RN. And then I think, you know, here in Jacksonville, being a nurse and, you know, working at the Mayo Clinic is, you know, they always want you to do more and more and more. And so I was like, I guess I'll be a nurse practitioner then, you know. So that's kind of where I went from there. You know.
Wow. So you worked at the Mayo Clinic? I
did. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was there.
Is that where this picture's taken at right here?
That is Mayo Clinic. Yes, that is Mayo Clinic. Those are all of my. That's when I first got hired on. Yeah.
Wow, man. I mean, man, hold up.
That's a real throwback, man.
How did you go from that to this right here?
Yeah. Well, a lot of sacrifice and loss of sleep, and you know, I would wake up off of a night shift, take a 30-minute nap, drive down to Georgia, and do my clinicals there, and then I just had to work the night shift, do my clinicals during the day, and then just kind of make that happen. So yeah, so long nights, long days, a lot of sacrifice.
But the weight transformation, how did
the weight too? Really, it's simply about I guess using your good judgment, because using your good judgment in that, hey, I can do this. I just need to be active. I just need to watch what I eat. And so that's kind of where it happened is, now I had time to actually sit down and like exercise, and that's kind of where it is here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing, man. I mean, I guess you got to practice what you preach, right?
That's it. And that's, I think you took the words out of my mouth. Is like, how can I sit in front of you, this 330-pound man, and say, hey, watch your diet, hey, watch what you eat. Hey, get your water in. It's not fair. It's not fair to say, do as I say, not as I do. Right. That's not fair. And so I was like, maybe I should practice what I preach. Yes. That's kind of what I did. Mm-hmm. And so it's, that's you said the word there, and that's practice what I preach.
Mm-hmm. So Shane, I mean, we see how you matriculated throughout. Here go a picture of you.
Yeah.
Is that graduating from nursing school?
Yep. That's at JU. Yep. Absolutely.
Wow. Now, when you was going through nursing school, what was the ratio? Were there a lot of other male nurses in your class that graduated with you?
There's 4 of us, and we were all tight.
Same here.
We're always tight in nursing school, man. We were all in clinicals together. We were study grouping together. It's just kind of how it is. We got a little special little bond. All the male nurses, we have a special little thing. It's like
people don't understand that.
They don't get it. Yeah, they don't get it. But it's true. We have a special bond, man. Nurses in the field, we're the minority. We're like less than 5%. And I get it. Absolutely. It's a female dominated field. They see nurses as caring, but I say, men can be caring too, It doesn't have to be that female gender role,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think also men, when they talk to other men, may have some men who may be embarrassed in sharing some of their medical issues with female nurses. And
that's
so
true.
They can relate to other men who may share that same situation.
Exactly. Especially when it comes to like sexual health, and men don't want to tell your woman nurse or your woman doctor that. And that's where, men, we come in handy, we know it. We can talk about it openly and candidly, because who wants to talk about that, except with another man who, gets it. And that's kind of, that's why we're here. We're part of the team.
Absolutely. So what inspired you after going through what you went through, working for the Mayo Clinic, everything that you've done? What inspired you to be founder of Integrative Med Group?
That's a good question. I didn't start out thinking that I was going to own my own practice or start out thinking that I was going to have my own clinic. It just kind of happened. It kind of happened in a sense that you want to do medicine your own way, or advanced practice nursing your own way, and to help out in the best way that you can. And that's kind of what I did and created my clinic to, I guess, help with healthcare costs. And people are losing their job because of COVID. They are losing, insurance and coverages. And I'm sure there's a way that I can kind of help with that. That's why I created my clinic and my practice, is to create this direct primary care method and model, or use it and cultivate it and grow it to help Jacksonville be healthier, because we're kind of heavy hit here, losing jobs, laid off. It's super unfortunate, but if I can do my part there, that's great. That's where I'm at with it. It's just kind of a random thing. One day I was like, I'm sure I can probably do that, especially here in Florida. I don't know if you know or not, but nurse practitioners are now autonomous starting July 1st. So what does that mean is that MDs no longer have to sign off on our orders. We can sign death certificates.
I was just going to ask that. Did you have to work under MD?
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. They're the attending. They sign off on the orders and those types of things as well. And so as of July 1st, if you meet the criteria, then you are now autonomous to where you don't need to have an MD sign off on your.
Oh man.
So I'm one of the first few. I think I am the only autonomously owned nurse practitioner clinic here in Jacksonville for now. Wow. I hope that changes though. I hope that changes. We have a lot to offer.
That's awesome, a lot to offer.
Yeah,
that's a great what do I want to say, man? That's just a great monumentum to have your own practice and be where you're at, the only nurse practitioner, and then male at that.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, but I think it's super rewarding and super, you get to do things your way, right? Mm-hmm. If anything goes wrong, it's you, right? There's no one else. It's you. It's your baby. It's your practice, right? So that's one of the things, is I have full control over everything. Full control.
So what is your patient census right now?
Our patient census right now, we're picking up. We just started back in probably August or so. We're hitting about the 45 to 50 mark right now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's a good start right now, because I still work as an internal medicine A.R.N-C over at the Naval Hospital as well. So that's that funds the dream. It
absolutely. We know we got to do that.
That's your day job, and then your after 5 is your real job, is your passion, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I'm still doing that, you know, and then we're kind of being in the community. We just did a entrepreneur group back in this past Saturday. So that was a good turnout this past Saturday. So we did free blood pressure checks, got some patients on board. It was good.
So let me ask you, we have a question by Jen Benson. She's CEO of Transplant Journey up in Connecticut. She says malpractice insurance costs must be high. Nope. Is it high down there?
Nope, not really. I can even give you some quotes for my personal malpractice and the clinic malpractice, as well as the state business mandate is only $1,700 a year. So it's not bad. No, it's not bad at all. So that's the clinic, that's me, and that's my liability. So those are all three together is about $1,700 a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, if I was an OBGYN, that'd be a whole different creature, right? Because they have the highest, I mean, they're six-figure malpractice or per year. So yeah, it's not bad for us as far as A.R.N-Ps.
Now, Shane, what do your practice cover? I mean, what type of health problems do you address?
Just call it chronic disease management. We do diabetes, high blood pressure. We do obesity management and weight loss counseling as well. We really do it all. We do high cholesterol. We do OBGYN stuff. That's chronic related. So we're like a primary care. So we take care of everything. Colds, flus, headaches, migraines, whatever, you know, we do everything except surgery, basically. We even do like minor stuff, you know, incision and drainage, sutures, biopsies, right? So
I was just thinking a friend comment, but I didn't see the comment, but I got notification. Yeah. And she live in Jacksonville. So supposed to come down and visit her really soon. So maybe I'll look you up when I come down there.
Yeah, I'll give you the grand tour, man.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah. Take care of it all. Chronic disease management is my thing.
Right.
Like I have a huge passion for diabetes. That's just kind of my thing. I just grew to love it. Diabetes it's prevalent in not only
talk about that.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. This is my baby here is diabetes. It's the reason why it's so important is because of a couple of things. Firstly, it has to deal with obesity, right? I mean, that's one of the things that leads to diabetes. And then a sequelae or a complication of diabetes is what you're dealing with now. This is your baby. It's this kidney failure or which may lead you on dialysis. It's just a complex, comorbid thing that not only fascinates me, but it's becoming more prevalent. I mean, as our waist size grows, so does our diabetes. It's a Western pandemic, right? Because we have fast food, you know, we have the technology age. It's really technically not our fault, kind of, sort of, is that we're cultured to, I guess, be in this Western mindset of, hey, you know, I can just go to McDonald's and grab me a 99-cent cheeseburger, or I can go to Costco and get a $5 thing of oranges. So, you know, it's such a hard thing, and it's becoming more prevalent. And so it leads to a lot of things, right? Kidney failure, you know, stroke, heart attack. It's just so complex.
Right,
you know?
right.
So complex. But it just fascinates me.
Let me ask you this. By you being almost like on the front line of dealing with this, what are you suggesting to your patients how to manage diabetes when they may be pre-diabetic or right there at the tipping scale of a hemoglobin A1C of 7 and above?
Yeah, these are my favorite patients because I can pull you back off of that cusp of pre-diabetes, right? I can pull you back, right? So we can do this a number of ways, but really it's a simple formula as it is for diabetes is diet and exercise. And that's it. So you watch your carbohydrates, you watch your sugars. I can't tell you how many times that I would pull people off of prediabetes just by cutting out Coke, period. Like just cutting off those sugary beverages, or orange juice. I mean, it sounds good in theory, but if you are pre-diabetic, it's not good because it's still sugar in and of itself, right? And pulling you off of those sugary beverages pulls you back off of pre-diabetes range, which is a simple and easy and quick fix. And honestly, it's very common because people don't understand how these things can cause diabetes and obesity because it tastes so good, right? So it's just one of those things is that we can pull you back off of that. You know, even we can throw in some metformin. It's just one of those things where you can get pulled back off of that. It's not too late. Once you get the diabetes diagnosis, then it's too late, right? But the pre-diabetes, we still have time to pull you back off of that cusp, you know?
So what you're saying is if somebody is diagnosed with diabetes, they couldn't reverse it?
No. It's not reversible at that point, right?
I mean, at what point? I mean, are
when
you talking about
diabetes? When you're at that pre-diabetes portion, right? You know, if you're at that A.P.R.N-C of 5.7 to 6.4, then we can have that conversation. But once your fasting blood glucose hits anything above 125, you're now diabetic, right? Or if you've got A1C of 6.5 or better, that's your true diagnosis of diabetes type 2 after that point.
So, okay, with that being said, right? So can we come to the conclusion that all patients who had diabetes will not have kidney disease?
Initially, I'm going to say you're okay in the beginning, but as we progress after year 1 or year 2, you may start to take a hit to the kidney for sure. I mean, it's the most sensitive organ in the body, called those little tiny nephrons. They don't like things being out of homeostasis, right? We hear that word very often, but it's true. We want to keep it balanced, right? And those sugar molecules, and we call it hyperosmolarity, right? To where it becomes thick and viscous. Those kidneys don't do well in that environment.
Gotcha.
And and the earliest thing that the lab test that I order is a microurinalysis to look at that early, kidney hit, right?
See how much albumin is spilling.
How much albumin is spilling into the urine, right? And this is even before protein even gets into the urine. Like this is way before. So we look at that very closely. That's one of the labs annually every diabetic should be getting to look at that early protein loss. But honestly, I'm treating that anyway. All of my diabetes patients are going to have at least 3 medications, right? One is lisinopril. It's to protect those kidneys.
ACE inhibitor.
ACE inhibitor. Love the lisinopril. Probably one of the best drugs on the planet. Next to my statins, or them as HMG-CoA inhibitors, like your Crestor, your atorvastatin. Those medications are probably the best meds ever made, honestly, because it reduces something called all-cause mortality, right? So it kind of reduces your risk of being hit by a bus, basically, kind of indirectly, of course, but it basically helps with diabetes and cholesterol and weight all kind of like mingled together, right?
Gotcha.
And so that's what causes atherosclerosis or heart disease, right? That's where fat gets deposited into those nice coronary arteries, right, causing the heart attack. Or they insult the kidneys, and then those nephrons die. Problem is that the nephrons never come back, right? They're gone, right? You don't get them back, right? And then
you got to maintain what you got.
You got to maintain what you got, or it's gone. There's just no way to get those kidneys back. And so that's why high blood pressure is the silent killer. That's why we call it the silent killer. Is think about how much pressure those kidneys are taking once that high blood pressure just hits those kidneys, and then they pop, right? Those nephrons just pop, you don't get back.
I mean, like how we discussing and talking about this, and we know this is serious. We see it with the explosion of kidney treatment centers, a lot of chronic diseases.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's hard for people to adapt to listening to this type of information, which, like what we're talking about now, which is education to help prevent them from being a future patient or victim
Right.
of the ninth leading cause of death in the United States, or
Yeah.
a heart disease victim, or a patient of diabetes or high blood pressure?
Right.
Why do you think people are so what's the word I want to use? Apprehensive, especially in the minority community, and seeking help as far as education?
That's a fantastic question. I think, honestly, being candid and open and like honest is like, in the past, I don't think we did a good job of taking care of our minority patients. I'm sure many of you have heard about the Tuskegee Airmen incident back in the day that was facilitated by healthcare members that made syphilis sort of like a African American sort of, I guess, test, which is not right. And so that kind of destroyed the confidence they had in their healthcare community, and we let them down. And so that is one way, is that we didn't have a good track record back in the day of treating people in that light. And that's just one of many incidences. I'm sure there's many more, and we have to fight harder to get that trust back. We have to fight hard. And that's why I'm here today, is like to say, like, we're not all there like that. Things have changed. Things have gotten better. So it's okay to trust us now. And it's good to ask questions, be informed, ask questions. Don't just take our word for it. Google's powerful. Go to Google and look it up, to see what we're saying is true. So you don't have to take my word for it. Yes, they were left untreated. Syphilis and the sequelae was so incredible. I mean, the airmen passed it on to their wife. Their kid have complications after, and so it was a dark moment in like medical history. It was
Absolutely,
dark moment.
Absolutely.
That was dark.
Hey Shane, now let's kind of shift gears for a little bit.
Sure.
Let's talk about nurse practitioners in general. I mean, 6-7 years ago, I wouldn't have never seen this shift and increase in nurse practitioners. In fact, you had nurse practitioners doing their own thing, creating their own niche of this profession. Why do you think the boom rush of nurse practitioners within the 21st century?
That's a great question. It's because of there is a trend with MDs specializing, right? So primary care, family medicine is not as like lucrative, and it's not their fault. It's just the nature of the beast, to where there leaves that deficit of, that primary care route. So that's where we were created by Dr. Loretta Ford, who kind of created us to fill that void and to fill that gap. So we're just basically doing our jobs now. It's basically filling that void by being a primary care provider, So we're filling that void. Schools are seeing the need, and now they're creating more programs to meet that need and that desire. And sometimes nurses, us at the bedside, that's a hard job. So we want to think of something else that has longevity, that's a little bit easier on our back, So that's
Shane, you raise a good point. So if they take away nurses from the bedside, who would that lead to be at the bedside to treat those patients?
That is a fantastic question. So there is going to be a nursing deficit here coming up very soon. So I'm sure within the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a deficit, especially now with COVID. There is burnout. Like there is burnout with nurses, nurse practitioners, MDs, PAs, like we're all getting worked to death right now. And so some people are quitting the profession entirely because it's just so much work. So not only that is COVID has really impacted us as well. You know, we're just having to stay late, work longer hours now to pick up that, you know, that's slack now here. So that's another thing. So there is going to be a deficit here probably in the next, 5-10 years.
Oh, so, man, that's a shame, man.
It is. I mean, it really is. So we need to create more nurses. We need more. And what we need is more male nurses too to help diversify. We need to diversify, Absolutely.
Now, Shane, do you think with this shift in more nurse practitioners and almost the doctors kind of relinquishing that role to nurse practitioners, do you think patients are going to trust nurse practitioners as the way they trusted medical doctors?
Oh, absolutely. Think about what nurses are. We are the number one most trusted profession. How many years now running in a row? This is 21 years in a row. We're the most trusted profession, period. 21 years running.
Wow.
21 years.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. It's the truth. We are the most trusted profession. So it makes sense that we move on to being a nurse practitioner and to pull in that trust. Yeah. And so we're tasked with that, is to be, to continue to earn that trust. That's the thing, is we need to continue to earn it and work for it. And so that's the thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're very knowledgeable. We don't know the nuance of what the medical doctors know. I think we've got that. We've got good intuition. We have a good intuition. We know what's kind of going wrong. We see the big picture. Do we know all the moving parts? Sometimes, as the RN, that's why we move into nurse practitioner roles, is to build upon that intuition. All right. So nurse practitioners now have the intuition. We now know how the parts are moving. Now we know how to put it all together and be that provider, that nurse practitioner. So we take our nursing brain and heart and mix it in with medicine, and boom, that's kind of what you've got with us. So
now, what are you seeing down in Jacksonville far as chronic diseases? Is it in Jacksonville, is it pretty high with hypertension and heart disease, diabetes, and kidney failure? I
mean, you just listed off my top 5 diagnoses, really. I mean, those are my top 5, really. You got your high blood pressure. At my event that I was helping with on Saturday, I picked up new patients just because of they didn't know they had high blood pressure. Because what is a symptom of high blood pressure? There's no symptom, right? You might get a headache, maybe, probably not. So that's what it is you walk around with your systolic in the 170, 180s and your diastolic in the 90s, 100s. And so you don't know it. You don't feel it. That's why it's called the silent killer.
So let me ask you, with that being said, what should people do if they don't know they have it? What's the first thing they should do?
I mean, even if you don't want to go to the doctor's office, just go to Walmart. Just stick your arm in one of those things and hit the button and see what's going on. You can go down to the fire station and get it done for free. If it's ignorance is not always the best thing, right? You don't know it, so it doesn't hurt you. That's not how it works. Go to Walmart, go to a fire station, go to your primary care doctor, have them look at, your pressure. Just really need to keep an eye on it, especially in the African-American population. We don't know why it's so prevalent. We have ideas, but even more so, it's just so prevalent. We don't know if it's diet or hereditary genetics. We don't know, but it's so important. At least get it checked a couple times a year, or walk down to Walmart, walk down to a fire station, just to keep yourself knowledgeable and in the loop with high blood pressure. It's so prevalent,
Let me ask you something, Shane. Why do you think within the last 2 years it's the urgence now for people to watch what's going on with them and their health? Why haven't it's been an urgency like this in the past? Why now all of a sudden people are trying to you know, talk about healthcare and blood pressure, diabetes, and is it because of the COVID exposed a lot of weaknesses in our healthcare system?
Oh, definitely. I think COVID has played a role, but you got to give yourself more credit. We're also more educated. We've got that Google, that beautiful thing right here, right? Right? We've got that guy. We're more empowered now more than ever to make good decisions. And so COVID has not only opened up those gaps because people are not going to the doctors, to the primary care because of COVID. Now we are at a deficit now. Now we are not catching breast cancers. We're not doing our colonoscopies. We're not doing our routine care because we're scared to go in. But there's telehealth right now. Telehealth is something we should be very proud of and very much using it right now. So you don't need to go in and see your PCM or PCP or whoever you guys call them. You can just use telehealth, and that's what I use, and it's been such a great thing. You don't need to come to my office to see me. We can just do telehealth. Let's talk over the phone. Let's see what's going on there. And I think telehealth is going to boom right now. It's going to boom. Mm-hmm. I mean, so it's going to be a beautiful thing. But so COVID has been a blessing and a curse, right? Yeah.
Now, I didn't cut you off, but let me ask you this.
Sure.
You said about telehealth.
Yeah.
What would you say to the patient who may be health literate and say, well, if we do telehealth, the doctor can't tell if my lungs are clear to osculate, or if they want to do some type of physical exam, right, and they can't touch like you usually get a physical examination. Right. It's not the same. So how do we make up for that to see, not just look for, symptomatic, that, objective, subjective, right, but how do we objectively assess the patient when it could be more to it than looking at them through a telehealth screen?
And that's true. Telehealth is not for everything, right? It's not for really acute problems, really uncompensated or decompensated problems. Of course, that's the truth. But a lot of it, though, is based on your subjective findings and just your visual findings of the patient, too, as well. It is limited. I can't lay hands on you. I can't lay eyes on you. I can't auscultate. I can't listen. That is a drawback. But so what I'm saying here is that it's not for every case and instance, which is the truth sometimes. But think about it. If this is your only option, and you're in the hills of Arkansas, I mean,
right.
I can't put my hands on you, but you can't go nowhere either.
That's true.
It's something.
It's a give and take.
It's a give and take. It's not for everything. I don't want you to think this is the magic bullet. This is going to fix healthcare. This is going to fix it. It's not. It's just one more tool we're going to add to the toolbox to help make healthcare more available. Right? That's it. We're just making it more available. I would rather you have some healthcare than no healthcare. Period. Some is better than none.
Right. Absolutely. Shane, I agree with you 100%. So Integrative Med Group, you're out of Jacksonville, Florida. Are you accepting patients?
We are accepting new patients. Absolutely. And we can get you in literally within the week. So we have wide availability, and you don't have to wait to see anybody. We can get you in actually pretty quick. So that's the great thing about it.
How large is your staff, Shane?
Right now, it's just a one-man band, and that's me. I'm
really?
the MA, I'm the RN, I'm the A.R.N-C.
Oh, no, man. Yeah. I ain't mad at you. I mean, that's what you got to do. But
yeah, that's it.
If I was down there and if I need, see a nurse practitioner, I'd definitely come to you, bro.
Man, I would. Hey, we'd love to have you, man. We'd love to have you.
So, you take insurance?
Well, yes and no, right? Trick question is that we use insurance to pay for labs, for imaging, for those types of things, medications, but we don't need it to function. So we would like to reach out to our underinsured people or persons that don't have insurance. And it's just a monthly, it's an unlimited, it's like the Netflix, honestly, is that's how we would explain ourselves, is you pay a monthly fee, full access, whether you see me once a month or 100 times a month, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So that's one of the perks. So it's like concierge medicine, but it's
almost
a way
like
more
a subscription.
Almost kind of like I say it as the Netflix of healthcare, is that you pay one fee, you got full access. You want to do telehealth, that's cool. You want to come into the office, that's cool too. So you've got that flexibility there. You see me once, twice, 10 times, whatever. It's all the same. There is no copays, no deductibles. There's no out-of-pocket maximums. It's just it. And even if you don't have insurance, I can get your annual labs for $60. So,
Wow.
I can give them $60, where you go to Quest LabCorp, the ones that I need are like $750, I think is total, without access to our plan. So
wow.
Yeah. I saw a bill and I was baffled one time. So I made sure to put that bill onto my account so we wouldn't have to pay that $700. That's just incredible.
Right.
Healthcare is out of control.
It is. Most definitely.
Period. And, I think moving back to why you think the urban community is not able to access care, it's not only are they not trusting, is that they can't afford it. Come on. I went to healthcare.gov, and I'm a 34-year-old male, no real health problems. The bronze bottom tier is $399 for me, just for me. So I can imagine what it is for a family of 4, family of 3, family of just 2.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine paying that. That's incredible.
Yeah, I did the same thing, and it came up for me, healthcare.gov, like $400 something, and deductible like $7,000.
$7,000 for me. Exactly what it was. $7,000. Yep.
Yeah. I just went straight Medicaid. I'm not playing around.
Who cares? It works.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not fooling around. I don't. At one time when I worked before I got injured, and I used to see patients on Medicaid, and I used to think one thing, but now being in that situation, I ain't ashamed to say I got Medicaid. You
should be. That's what it's there for. You're the best candidate for Medicaid.
Oh, absolutely. I work my butt off and pay taxes.
You put in work. You put in good work as a male nurse. I struggle. I think you more than earned it, man. You more
right.
Absolutely.
Hey, so Shane, we got about 10 more minutes left, but I just wanted to know if you have a male watching or a mother of a son that maybe get ready to graduate from high school and go to college and maybe undecided on an occupation, can you just share a little bit about male nursing and the ease now of getting into it?
Sure. I think it's a very noble profession. Don't let the stigma or anything sort of attach yourself to it. I think it's a great profession. Honestly, little known fact is that the first nurses were men. Look it up. First nurses were actually men prior to Florence Nightingale. Look it up. You'll see. First ones were men. So we're just coming full circle now. And what it is great. You get to help out in a great capacity. There's so much mobility around. You're not stuck doing one thing. If you don't like it, that's fine. You can move around. And especially as men, there's a lot of opportunity for us, especially in leadership, especially in being a nurse practitioner like myself. There's just so much opportunity. You can teach, be a professor. You can do dialysis. You can do cardiology. It's so mobile. That's one of the downsides of our MD colleagues, is that they are stuck in one thing, right? You're stuck being a cardiologist. You're stuck being a nephrologist. You don't get to move around. That's one of their downsides. Whereas we can move around and do different things, especially being a male nurse, is that we're the minority, but we get a little bit of special privileges here and there. Mm-hmm. Right? We get a couple special privileges, not many, but we take what we can get, and that's being in We get accepted into more programs in advanced practice, master's degrees. We get prestigious roles. Like I was at the Mayo Clinic. So it's a lot of mobility. It's a great profession. It pays well. I mean, it's almost twice the national average as far as pay. So you will have a good life, a good career. You get to give back. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it, honestly. It's just one of the best things that I've done personally.
You're right. And I don't regret becoming a nurse. I swear I don't regret
in my life. Ever. This is such a great thing. Great way to give back. It's fulfilling. It's a true career. If you map out, it's like, what is a real career? And I think being a nurse practitioner is a super great, noble, respected, trusted profession.
Oh, absolutely.
About it, period. Especially men, we're getting bigger. We're getting bigger in the role. We were just 2 or 3%. Now we're cusping around 5 or 7% now. We're starting to grow a little bit. And that's great. It's great.
Wow. This is my friend that's in Jacksonville.
Oh, hey, friend.
Her name is Pamela Jenkins. Over 20 years working as a dialysis technician. We work together in Maryland, but very great technician. And right now, she has to take care of COVID patients at another clinic.
It's hard.
Yeah. So my hat's off to you, Pam.
I know that's right. Yeah, that's a tough job. Working on those COVID floors is hard, period. Mm-hmm. Because we just don't know enough about COVID to really understand trends right now. My MD colleagues who are taking care of persons inpatient is like, we don't understand it, right? So it evolves, it mutates. There's symptoms that come, there's symptoms that go. Not everyone has this one symptom, right? It gets confused with a couple of things. Is it the common cold? Is it flu? Is it parvo? Is it what is this? It's a virus, right? It's a coronavirus, and it doesn't act like your usual coronavirus.
Right.
We were joking, like, is this man-made? it's just so weird. It's just a joke. It's just so weird. So I'm hoping we can get some more true information and not just anecdotal stuff.
Right. You're right about that.
That's anecdote is all we have now. It's working right now. So I guess I can give you a fun fact, or what we've seen is that persons that have lost their sense of taste and smell typically do better. They do better than those that have not lost their smell or taste. And it's what we think about is that it's more of an upper airway versus a lower airway, like an actual COVID pneumonia. So that's probably why. But it's all anecdote right now. But that's trends we've been seeing. So that's one little interesting fact there.
Okay. So Willis Porter, buddy of mine, he's down in Georgia, but this gentleman is a liver transplant recipient, and he's looking at social work school. But he wanted to get your contact information. He said he would love to talk with you and learn more.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we'll put that up right before you leave.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would love to reach out. I mean, yeah.
No, Pam, Shane, he's a nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she was confused one day about COVID, but it was her allergies.
Exactly, and that's common. Is like, we're all COVID phobic now, right? You cough, you sneeze, you got COVID, right? And its allergies are still there. The flu is still there. The cold is still there. Strep throat is still there. So those things may also be underdiagnosed too, though. I'm thinking is that they're underdiagnosed.
COVID came in and overshadowed everything.
Exactly. That's why I'm always keeping in the back of my mind. All right, let's go ahead and order the rapid strep. Let's go ahead and order the flu A, flu B. Let's do all these things before we say COVID. I'm gonna order COVID, of course, but I want to make sure to catch the low lying fruit too as well.
Sure, absolutely.
So I don't want to miss anything, So I'm like, let's do flu, pneumonia, strep. Let's do it all, right? Mm-hmm. So that way we don't get swept under the rug.
Okay. So Shane, about to close it up, but before we go, share a little bit about your practice
Sure.
And give us a number so people want to reach out to you, or any information. Anybody want to reach out to you through email or your site or whatever to maybe get some consult or suggestions? Who knows?
Exactly. I would be more than happy to share that as well. You can catch me on Facebook with my personal profile. It's going to be s.d Grindle. That's my Facebook profile. And then we also have a clinic profile. It's going to be Integrative Med Group. And then you can find me via my email. It's going to be shane@integrativemedgroup.com, or you can do shane.grindle@gmail.com. Either one is fine.
Okay, what was that email? Shane
or shane.grindle@gmail.com.
Grindle
@gmail.com.
Okay.
Or shane@integrativemedgroup.com.
Or Shane is that E, right?
Integrative Med Group.
All right.
.com, or you can call the clinic at 904.
Wait a minute.
Sure.
Right. 904. Wait a minute.
999.
999.
9792.
All right. Let me
absolutely
add that. So is that right?
That's perfection. That is me. That is me in a nutshell. So if there's anything I could answer, or general medical questions, that's great. Anything specific, we would have to do a consult for. But any general medical questions or general thing about the profession, nursing, nurse practitioner, whatever, COVID, I don't mind answering any of those questions as well. We are, of course, accepting new patients. You don't need insurance to have healthcare. That's why I created my clinic. So $69 as little as can get you unlimited access to $60 labs, discounted imaging, x-rays, MRIs, whatever you need. We're kind of here for it. And if we don't get it, we will find it. I'm sure we can. We have a lot of great contacts in the community here in Jacksonville. And so we love our veterans. We love our LGBTQ family. We love everyone. So if there's something we can do to help, that's why I'm here. So that's my contact information. Any questions? I am all for it.
Oh man, that's awesome, Shane. Really appreciate you coming on, man. Again, this is awesome, man. From that, man.
I know.
To, wow. Wow, man.
This is the first time that I've looked at it. I'm so busy I don't have time to look back, but it's kind of a humbling thing,
Oh, absolutely.
Thing.
Man, we want to bring you back on in the future to talk about some other healthcare issues that plague the community that's common among minorities in the population, if that's fine with you.
That's great. Yeah, I would love to be on for that.
Maybe like prostate cancer, breast cancer, or asthma. That's something that a lot of people don't talk about and that suffer from is asthma.
Truth. Yeah, it's very truth. And people coming down from the northern cool climate coming down here to Florida, for some reason, they get allergies and they have asthma attacks. It's just something, about the pollen here and the allergens. And so, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I just want to bring you back because I already missed about you working at Mayo. I know you worked at Mayo, but I mean, that could be a long conversation itself. So we're definitely going to bring you back. I'll reach out to you. And again, Shane, thank you so much, man, for coming on. Really appreciate this information, as a lot of the audience reached out to me and gave you some great compliments behind the scenes and everything, man. So
appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely look forward to bringing you back.
Likewise. Thanks for having me. And if there's anything I can do or any questions I can answer, I am here for all that.
All right, and put your information back up there, guys. S.D. Grindle, nurse practitioner out of Jacksonville, Florida, CEO of Integrative Med Group. Again, thank you so much for coming on, buddy. You're my new best friend now.
I love new friends. I love making new friends. It's a great thing. Thanks for having me, and thanks for all the good questions and all the good feedback. So looking forward to coming on back.
Oh, absolutely, man. Looking forward to having you back, Shane.
Likewise.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon, buddy.
I'll see you soon, man. You take care of yourself, all right?
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, boss. Bye.
All right. Guys, this was an awesome show. I'm telling, we coming with the heavy guns 2021, giving you great information that could pertain not only to patients with kidney disease, but all patients that's dealing with a chronic condition other than kidney disease. So again, I'd like to thank our guest, SD Grindle, CEO of Integrative Med Group, for coming on World Kidney News International. If you would like to come on World Kidney News International, you have a business, healthcare professional, or you making any type of waves in the kidney disease community or in the health community, please send me an email, send it through my Messenger Facebook, and we will have you on sharing your story. So with that being said, we got 2 comments before I go. All right. Hey, thanks, Pam. I'll talk to you later. And Willis, thank you, buddy. Impact Health. Check out Willis Porter as well. Sean, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you watching. And everybody else from the Misfits Group, Jen Benson, and everyone else, if I missed your name, Audrey. That's pretty about it. My man, Jared. Guys, look out. Lisa Baxter's coming up right away. Soon as this broadcast ends, we got the Lisa Baxter Show giving you the 411 in the kidney world. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you, Jonathan, for watching. Appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Again, the Lisa Baxter Show coming right up. See you guys soon. Peace. God bless. Stay blessed and encouraged. Peace.